Hi my lovies and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be, what the hell is today's video? Today's video is going to be a topic that I get asked a lot on, and it's usually like, what's your favorite drugstore foundation? What's your favorite drugstore concealer? What's your favorite drugstore bronzer? You know, it's always, you know, what's your favorite affordable product? And I get that because I know that I'm a girl who loves a bargain, and I especially love the drugstore and the affordable products that they constantly have and bringing out, and I just love that about the drugstore, that they're really up in their game. They are comparable to so many high-end products, and some products from the drugstore are even better than high-end products. So I have a whole makeup bag here full of my favorite drugstore makeup products, and I want to go through them all with you as quick and rapidly as I can because there is a lot in here. So first off, I'm going to talk about foundation bases or primers, whatever you want to call them. I have three here that I really love lately, and these are kind of my go-to, my most repurchased ones. Obviously, One Heck of a Blot has been like my go-to for years. I've loved this for so long. This is from Soap and Glory. It's super affordable. It makes your foundation last really long. It fills in any pores. There's nothing else I can say about it other than it just looks incredible on my skin, and when I put my foundation on top of it, everything looks phenomenal, and that's all I need to say about that. I've ranted and raved about that for years. A new favorite of mine is the Essence Fresh and Fit. They came out with this recently and I've gone through two of these. This is my second one. Actually, I've gone through one and now I've halfway through this one. I love this and I've been wearing it all summer long. I just think it's beautiful. It's the primer I have on today. Generally, I stay clear of primers like this, but the only reason I got to try it is because Essence actually sent it out to me. I was totally converted on primers like this. It is illuminating primer, so it kind of reminds me a bit of the strobe cream from MAC, just the way it's real luminous, and you think that it's going to make your skin look really shiny, but I have it on today and my skin looks really matte. It gives you a healthy glow and it also minimizes any pores. I also feel like it makes my foundation last long, and I think it's perfect if you just want to apply this all over the face mixed in with a moisturizer. It just gives you that real glowy effect. It doesn't make you look oily or greasy, and I adore this. And then the third primer that I highly recommend is this one here from L'Oreal. This is the Infallible Mattifying Base. I got this on a recommendation of a subscriber and I have been converted ever since. This is like the Smashbox Photo Ready Photo Focus, oh god, the Smashbox one, you know, the silicone based primer. It's exactly the same as it. It performs the same on my skin. It's really mattifying. I absolutely adore this primer, and it's super affordable as well because it's from the drugstore, and I haven't really been using that many high-end primers since discovering this one because I've been going between this and my Essence one all summer long. I haven't really used my Soap and Glory one as much as these lately, but I still love that one, obviously. Next, I want to talk about foundations. I'm not going to ramble on about too many drugstore foundations, but my favorite holy grail drugstore foundation, I can't express how much I love this. Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. It is super affordable, incredible coverage, long lasting, long wear. I can't say enough good things about this. This is the only foundation that I used when I went away traveling. It was just the best foundation for me, long lasting, like I said, and just makes my skin look incredible. You can use a light amount of this to create like more of a, I suppose, natural look, and you can build it up to full coverage. I absolutely adore it. The fact it's only like €6 I think is just a highlight of this foundation as well. It's just amazing. And the first foundation that I ever discovered from the drugstore, and I'm still using it to this day, is the L'Oreal True Match. I have this in the American bottle because where I buy it is from an American website, and that's just why. This is one of the best foundations. Like I said, I've used this for so many years. It was the first foundation I used when I was in school. I wore this to my debs. I absolutely love this foundation. The best discovery ever, and I didn't even know as a teenage me that I was gonna love it all these years later, and I still am loving it and using it to death, and I highly recommend it if you're starting out with makeup, or if you've been using makeup for a while and you've just never actually delved into this foundation. Definitely check it out. The color selection is the best from this out of any drugstore foundation I've ever come across, and that is just why I recommend it so highly as well. And again, you can use a light amount of it to create like a sheer appearance, or then build it up to make it more intense. Another product that I really do like for foundation, but I don't really want to harp on too much about it because the color selection is very poor, it's the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. I have the darkest shade and I can't wear it at the moment because obviously my natural tan is too dark for it, but I do recommend this foundation if you can find it in your shade. Apparently Catrice are bringing out more shades in it, and I really hope that's true because Deeper skinned people are just completely and utterly forgotten about, and then really, really pale skinned people are forgotten about as well. I mean, if the darkest shade doesn't even match me, how is it going to match anybody with deep skin? It's just not ideal. So Catrice are supposed to be bringing out more. I do love this foundation. It's long lasting and incredible, but if they don't bring out any more shades, like what's the point of even mentioning it? Because whoever watches me, unless you're one of 4 shades, you can't use it. 2 other products that aren't technically primers and they're not technically foundations, they're mixing products, and they're from Catrice. These are a new discovery this year. They're from the Prime and Fine range, and we've got the darkening drops and the lightening drops. These are lifesaver products, guys. If you're like me and you can go like multiple shades, like depending on the time of the year, then these will be your lifesaver. For me, naturally, I'm like an NC 35. That's just my natural skin tone, but right now that's even too light for me, because when I see a bit of sun, I get really, really dark. I've sallow skin, I've dark hair, I've dark eyes. I've mentioned this before. I know my hair is blonde. I dye it. Shocker. And I do find it difficult sometimes to find foundations that match me to a T, whereas these darkening and lightening drops are amazing. Sometimes I tend to buy foundations that are too dark for me online. I mean, we've all been there. And then sometimes I buy things that are too light. So it's just great to have these products that obviously will transform any foundation to something that you want, or kind of like a better shade for your skin at the time. And especially for me during the summer months and then on to winter, my skin just changes at least 2 shades in foundation. I think most of us are like that, and it's just not ideal to be changing up your foundation that regularly, but using them is the best solution. I hemmed and hawed over so many different concealers, and I just kind of came back to this one concealer that I just want to recommend. It's the only concealer that I'd highly rate from the drugstore. I have loads that I love, but this is just the one that I've repurchased the most, and I have used this for so long, like so long. This is the Lasting Perfection. The first time I ever purchased this, it was in around like €3 perhaps, and now like years later, I think it's up near like €6 now at this stage. It's a very popular concealer. They've recently released more shades. I'm in the shade number 03 at the moment, which is warm medium, which I just use to brighten up underneath my eyes or highlight any parts of my face. I absolutely adore this. Best concealer on the market and super affordable. Next, I want to talk about powders. So for setting the face, I highly recommend the Rimmel Stay Matte Pressed Powder. I hate the packaging of it. I've ranted and raved about this for years. This is my first ever powder that I ever used to set my face. I always use the shade 005 Silky Beige, and I've used that for years. Still the same shade that I use to this day. It doesn't add any color, it just sets the face. It doesn't add any, like, we'll say, coverage either. It's just a setting powder, and it's amazing at keeping your oils at bay, especially if you're like me and are pretty oily. I get very oily throughout the day. This is ideal for me, and I've gone back and forth through loads of powders. I still come back to this one. It's better than most high-end powders, I find. I just think it's incredible, and the formula is just, it hasn't changed in all the years, and it's still amazing. Another setting powder I've used for a long time is the True Match from L'Oreal. I still go back to this as well. I just think the True Match range from L'Oreal is pretty decent because they have something for most skin tones, and I really like that, because the drugstore don't always cater for the really, really deep skin, and then they sometimes miss out on the really fair skin as well. They don't have anything light enough. So I do find that this is great because it matches my skin, and there is a colour for everyone. There's even a really deep shade as well. It just sets my face, it keeps me matte all day, and it's super affordable. And I mean, there's nothing else you can really say about a setting powder. It just keeps my oils at bay, and I love it. How could I not mention this product? It actually would be a sin to not mention this, but it is my Essence Banana Brighten Up Powder. Oh my god, I love this powder. It is one of the best powders ever to be released from the drugstore for setting your under eye area. I've gone through loads of different powders for setting the under eye area, and everything's kind of like average, it's okay, but this is just divine. I'm almost hitting pan in it, like I can feel the pan under there, so I need to go and pick up another one. Now, someone did tell me that Essence have discontinued this. Please, Essence, don't discontinue this. It's amazing. Comes in a peach powder as well, so if you've deep skin and you want to set the under eye area, the peach one would be ideal. If you're light to medium, then the banana one is great at just brightening up the under eye. I use this to set my eyeshadow base as well, and I love it. For bronzer, the only bronzer I ever recommend is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Physician Formula is kind of hard to find in Ireland. It's only in some selected pharmacies. It's not nationwide. It's very hard to get hold of. If you can find it, pick up the butter bronzer. Mine is like well loved and bashed. If you can't find it in stores, you can buy this online. I buy mine from iHerb. I always get asked what color I get. I get it in the shade bronze, so not light bronze, bronze, which is like the darker of the two. So I use this to bronze up my skin. It's just amazing. I love it so much. It's a little bit on the pricier side as bronzers go. I think it's like 13 or 12 euro or something like that, but it just is incredible. It smells like coconuts. It smells amazing. I'm very, very weird about fragrance skincare products and like powders and stuff like that, but this doesn't offend me in any way. I actually really like it, and I think it smells amazing and performs incredible on the skin. Once you blend it out, actually you can't even smell it anyway. Another face product I had to recommend and have to talk about is the Makeup Revolution Trio. I've had this for so long. It is in the Ultra Fair and it matches me pretty decent. I can't wear this shade at the moment, the contour shade, because I'm just a little bit too deep for it at the moment, but generally during the autumn winter times it looks fantastic. If you have really deep skin, I wouldn't recommend this because it just won't show up on you, but I would recommend the highlighter and the blush. The blush is very similar to the NARS Orgasm, and then the highlight is stunning as well. So that is the blush and highlight, and then the bronzer, I don't know if you'll be able to see this on my skin. Yeah, it's like literally nearly the same color as my skin. It's even like a little bit too pale for me right now, and it is amazing because you can build it up. It doesn't look chalky on the skin. I feel like the highlight and the blush are just amazing, and I love it because it's only €4.50. I mean, seriously, for a trio of products, that is just an epic price tag. I love it. Another product that is totally my vibe. I love this product. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighter in Precious Petals. I mean, Precious Petals. Petals, plural. Every single time somebody asks me for an affordable highlight, this is the one I will recommend. I feel like this goes with everybody's skin tone. It's just beautiful. It is a gorgeous champagne-y kind of gold. It reminds me a little bit of Champagne Pop from Becca. I just think it is so pretty. And you can see like from the other highlight that I swatched, which is a bit more fair, this one is not so much. So if you have deeper skin, this will look beautiful on you. They also have another one called Crown of My Canopy or something like that, and that is a nicer shade for deeper skins, but if you're light to medium, this one is perfect. For blusher, I don't think it can really go wrong with the Drugstore. Most Drugstore blushes are nice, but just if you really want an affordable blush, I do recommend the Essence one. This is Rose Me Up. I've used this for so long. It's a gorgeous shade. It might not match me actually right now. Yeah, it's a little bit fair for me right now, but in general, most times of the year, this looks gorgeous on my skin. But Essence do really affordable blushes. Like they're about €2 or something like that, and they look really good. They're not powdery. They blend out really well, and they're not like splotchy on the cheeks or anything like that, and I think the pigmentation of them is pretty decent. So for eyes, the first product I want to recommend is the Essence I Love Stage Eyeshadow Base. If you love eyeshadow and you want a good base for an affordable price, this is your man. I tell you, you will not be disappointed. This eyeshadow base has been, I've used this for years. Like I must have, like, I think this was the first eyeshadow base I ever used, other than the Urban Decay Primer Potion, because I think they were the two that were out around the same time, but I'm still using this, whereas Primer Potion has been long since forgotten by me, and I'm still loving this, and I do recommend this. I think it's amazing, and if you haven't, pick it up and just try it. It's like $2.50. If you don't love it, you know, you're not after losing a load of money, but if you do, you may have found a hidden gem. For eyeshadows, I only recommend the Reloaded palette from Makeup Revolution. I feel like these are the best formula of eyeshadows that they've ever come out with. I absolutely adore them. I use these quite regularly, and I didn't think I would. I thought I'd only get them, use them for a video and forget about them, but I pick them up so often. I have the Neutrals 2 and the Iconic Division palette, and I love both of them. They are insanely pigmented. The colors are fantastic. Like, you've just such a different array of colors. Warm oranges. I just love it. The pigmentation's not phenomenal, but come on, like, it's a €4 palette, so you know you can build up all the shadows. You know, you get a decent amount of pigmentation. You're not going to be getting Anastasia Beverly Hills quality here, guys, but you are going to be getting pretty decent pigmentation, pretty decent quality for €4. I don't even think pennies have eyeshadow palettes that affordable, and they come in so many different colors. They have a new purple one out, they have a cool tone one, they've deeper colors. They have just a different variety of these reloaded palettes, something to suit everyone, and I definitely recommend them. For mascaras, the two mascaras I recommend are the Essence Lash Princess mascara. I often get told that the green version of this or the teal version is much better, the false lash effect, but I disagree. What is on my mouth? Yeah, there's a hair. But I disagree. I feel like this one is the better of there's three in the range, but I think this is the best one. It's the one that's on my lashes today, and I love it and I use it all the time. The other mascara is the Rockouture mascara. Don't get the waterproof. I picked up the waterproof thinking it would be ideal when I'm going traveling. It's not ideal. It's a stinker to try and get off. It smudges everywhere when you're trying to take it off. Be left with mascara halfway down your face for about a month. I'm not keen on this, but the OG original formula is incredible. I love it. So those two mascaras are like my favorite mascaras ever from the drugstore. The only two that I use, the only two that I need, and I don't need anything else other than them because they're just so good. For brow products, I love this brow pomade. This is from Freedom, and this is actually my second one of these. I got the shade Soft Brown, and Freedom make some of the best brow products on the market, but particularly their brow pomades. It's better than the Benefit brow pomade. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head right now. It is better than it. I highly recommend it. It is incredible. If you want your brows looking on fleek, I highly rate this one and to pick it up. For other brow products, I love the Essence Make Me Brow Gel. It's what I use most days on my brows. I try and go with the lighter one if I am if my brows are really fair. Now my brows just got done the other day, so they're pretty intense, but generally I'll go with the lighter brow pomade, and then when my roots are a bit darker when my roots are darker, I will go with the darker shade. I hope that makes sense. Wow, I'm just throwing everything all over the place. The last two products for eyes I want to mention is the Essence Liquid Ink Eyeliner. Do I need to talk about this again? I feel like I mention this in every single drugstore video or every single video where I'm rating affordable products. This is my Ride or Die Liquid Ink liquid liner. It is so incredible. A lot of people say that they're so hard to use, these brush applicators, but this one is just phenomenal. I've tried so many liquid liners and I always come back to this because it doesn't smudge on me, it doesn't smear. My eyes can get a bit runny in the summertime just with the pollen and stuff like that, and if the wind is blowing in my face or even if the sun is blinding me, my eyes are watering, and this still holds up. Now I do recommend getting the waterproof one if you know your eyes are going to be running, but generally day to day this is the one that I will wear. It's just amazing. It's very black. It dries matte, which is what I love as well. I don't like those liquid liners that dry kind of like with a greasy, I don't know how you'd even say it. It's like they're almost wet looking on the eyes. I don't like that. This dries really matte, dries down really well, and like I said, it's like €2 and there's nothing high end better than this. There just isn't. I've tried them all. I don't like any of them as much as this. And then the last eye product is the NYX Glitter Primer. This is an essential if you use glitters or pigments or anything loose, especially those ones from like Barry M or my Inglot pigments, anything like that. This is my go-to product. I will go between this and the Too Faced one. The Too Faced one is just a little bit more expensive, obviously. So this one is an affordable dupe. It's just a clear colored product. It actually looks exactly the same as the Too Faced glitter glue, which I'll put them side by side. This is the NYX one and that is the Too Faced one. To me, they're the same consistency, they're even the same color, and they do the exact same job. So if you can get something for €10 that is equivalent to something that's like €22, then it's a no-brainer for me. Last but not least, I want to move on to lips, and I have a few lip liners here. One I can't locate, but it is the Addiction lip liner from Rimmel, and I just had my hand on it like 2 seconds ago. I feel like it fell out somewhere. Oh, here it is. I love this lip liner. It is so beautiful. That's it there. It's a gorgeous shade. It just makes your lips look fuller and poutier. And then from NYX, I love their lip liners. Like, you can't go wrong with any of the NYX lip liners. But I love the shade Mauve. It's like a deeper shade than Addiction from Rimmel. That's it there. Absolutely love this. And I've gone through like 2 of these in the last year. I love them. And then the other shade that I really like is Too Loose, and this is from their Suede lip liners. Wow, these lip liners all look quite identical, and that's Too Loose there. So Too Loose, Mauve, and then Addiction on the end. They are amazing lip liners. Oh, that lid just popped right off. Amazing lip liners, really long lasting and as good as the MAC in my opinion. I just feel like they're just incredibly decent lip liners and they're only like €3 or €4. My favorite lipstick brand is actually Wet n Wild. I feel like their lipstick quality is phenomenal. If I'm not using a lipstick from MAC, I'm probably using one from Wet n Wild. My favorite shade is Bare It All. It is just a beautiful shade. You can't go wrong with this. It's very similar to Velvet Teddy, but in my opinion this looks nicer on my lips than Velvet Teddy. So if you haven't already picked this up, go for it. It's $2.99. And the other lipsticks I really like are from NYX. Most of the lipsticks from NYX are amazing. I do love the high voltage ones as well. And this lipstick is called Flutter Kiss. I love this lipstick. I've used this quite a lot and it's well loved. It is a beautiful mauve shade, absolutely stunning on the lips. I love this and I think the quality of those lipsticks is amazing. Anything from NYX is pretty decent anyway. And then the last brand is Milani. So Milani lipsticks are amazing. I have loads of them, like loads of them. Black Cherry is a beautiful one, and then I have like a bright orangey one that looks like Morange. I can't actually remember the name of them. I have so many of them, but my favorite nude one is called Innocence. This is my second one of this lipstick and that's how much is left. I absolutely love this with a deeper lip liner and then place this in the middle. It just looks amazing, and anytime I wear this people will often ask me what's on my lips. So there we go guys. You have it all in one. I feel like I've talked for Ireland. My mouth is dry and I need a drink and I need to lie down because I just have given myself a headache from talking. I'm sorry if I was going too fast through this video, guys. I just really wanted to get the points across and tell you about the makeup products because that's what we came here for. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please let me know what you'd like to see next on my channel. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say to you guys. And don't forget that you don't have to spend a whole lot of money to get good quality products. All of the ones I mentioned in this video are like ride or die products for me. They're not just like, yeah, they're all right. I love them. So you can get really, really good products affordably. So I hope that helped. And I will talk to you guys in my next video. I love you. Mwah! Bye. Don't know what I was doing with my hands there.